concern?
New World Order, one world government. That's what the United Nations strives for, is having one central authority over all people. So that instead of having somebody in Harrisburg dictate how Pennsylvania lives, you have somebody over in Europe telling us how. People see it and say, look, gun owners aren't bad people. I mean, they may have guns, it may scare me, but that's their business, not mine.
If we're going to have a liberty, ethical, moral president, which as far as I can remember, there's not been one of those in a while, we've got to change who is going to be our precincts. Who's running our precincts? Are we giving all of our power of our precincts over people that never read the Constitution? We've got to change who our precincts are. We have to change who our state representatives are. We have to change who our mayor is. If you want to change our communities, our county, our state, and our nation, we have to fill every one of our precincts with liberty-minded people. So I am a Republican by choice because of the Republican principles. See if you can recognize any of these Republican principles in some of our elected Republicans. Equality for everyone, free enterprise. The government should not be picking the winners and losers. Personal responsibility and personal initiative. Our nation protects the dignity of every individual. Limited government that practices fiscal responsibility and strong national defense. Well, I'm proud of what the Republican principles are. And I'm promising you that I'm going to try to do whatever is in my power to stand on those principles. With your help, we can take back Harrisburg.
Thank you, Jane. My name is John Weber. People that listen know me as Patriot John on the air. First thing I want to do is I want to point out this fine gentleman standing up front in the black t-shirt and the beard. He's holding a sign. And I'll read it for everybody. Thousands have died for our Constitution. I'll be damned if you're going to just throw that away. And that was proven last weekend out in Nevada. Now, long-time listeners know, let me throw this caveat out there. Long-time listeners know that I'm about as subtle as a plane crash. What I want to talk about is the response. Thousands and thousands of people showed up at the Bundy Ranch in Nevada and stood down the government and their armed thugs. That's right. Cheer for that. Embrace that. Because it's going to happen again and again and again. Now, thank God the situation was diffused for the moment. I say for the moment because it's not over. FedGov is not going to stand for egg on their face. But for the moment, it was done without a shot being fired. The people brought out the show of force and said, I'll be damned if you're just going to throw it away. I will not comply with your laws and your regulations that trample on my liberty, my daughter's liberty, and everybody's liberty here. Elder! Thomas Jefferson defined rightful liberty. Rightful liberty is unobstructed action according to one's own free will, bound only by the equal rights of those around him. That's it. Anything is on the table as long as I don't hurt any of you physically or financially. I can do whatever I want, and so can you. That's rightful liberty. This man Bundy had his cattle grazing on what I said was government land. The only land that the federal government owns is 10 square miles of Washington, D.C., and military bases in the country and around the world.
And the government shut down the veterans memorials. The issue with the barricades, the return to sender, where they picked them up and took them back, dumped them on the ground and said, we're not recognizing your authority over us. These are our monuments. We will visit them as we choose. The spirit of resistance is starting to grow in this country. That's one of the reasons why we gather here today, to help instill that spirit of resistance. You are all free people from the moment you took your first breath. Your rights are yours, granted to you by God, not by any edict from on high in Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would remove your hats.
Our Father, who art in heaven, we seek, Lord, your blessings, We seek your blessings, Lord. Our nation is in peril. You have told us beforehand in your word that wrong will be right and right will be wrong. You do not lie, Lord. Your words have always been true and will remain true. Lord, our Constitution was created by and for virtuous and religious people. And William Penn, the founder of Pennsylvania, said, we must be governed by God or ruled by tyrants.
Unfortunately, we've gotten a little unused to exercising those rights. But as you can see, every Braveheart radio rally is an open carry rally. We're exercising our Second Amendment rights here, which is the one that protects all the others.
Lord, there's nothing in your word that says Christians need to be doormats. In Luke 22:36 of your word says, and he who has no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. Lord, we need righteous leaders to lead our nation with you as the king. Your word tells us in Samuel chapter 8 that we have you. We don't need a human king, but man insists on one anyway.
And I'm about to demonstrate that right now.
I knew it had to be with that camera.
Last weekend out in Nevada, I don't know if anybody really realizes how close we came to war, a shooting
go on for
war.
another hour. They want to speak a lot.
One blogger described it as a hair's breadth away.
I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, but we are getting very, very close to a second American Revolution. If you've seen what's been going on out in Nevada, where patriots decide to stand against government overreach, the only reason I'm here right now is because I couldn't get my gear together fast enough. And if you are of a mind, if you have the ability and the time you can take off, the people who are holding the ground at Bundy Ranch could still use some help.
That's it. And you know what? That is a constitutional limit. It is spelled out specifically in the Constitution. And to have the government come in and say, we own this land, your cattle are hurting some damn turtle, you can't graze here, we're going to take your cows because some corrupt court somewhere said we can't. Well, I don't recognize that. Mr. Bundy didn't recognize that. And thousands of people, most without, but a lot with weapons, didn't recognize that. And for the moment, the people won.
Period. 239 years later, today, we are at the verge of our next Lexington and help yourself and remember, the federal government can't own anything. We do, because it's our money that bought it. Thank you.
There is a never-ending supply. It don't matter where it comes from. Everybody do your business. Well, not that kind of business. Not that kind.
Yeah, I should go back and roll the other wheels on too, fit that side. Oh, good to meet you. Yeah, and I always
Hold on. I thought sure as hell you had that thing double charged. I don't know what. I can't trust you, man. I expected that to be loaded. Okay. Who's got fire? Fire! Fire!
Watch this thing blow up in the face. Oh, those are mineral spirits. Here we go.
Fire! Fire! Fire!